What is up, guys? In today's video, I'm going to be going over several quick tips that you're going to want to know in a Fortnite Chapter 6 Season 4. As always, if you guys do enjoy this video, find it helpful, informative, or interesting, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you like some more, comment down below what tip has helped you most this season, and if you guys would like to use my code in the item shop, it is EvolveJake, and it is underneath the webcam at all times. The first thing we have to talk about is going to be the Wrecker Revolver, because this is arguably the best weapon in the game this season. The game classifies it as a pistol, but in basically every single aspect of how it plays, it is a shotgun with very long range. So it shoots shotgun shells, it shoots a spread of pellets every time you shoot, and for some reason it has ridiculous range, and this makes it not only a good shotgun, but an incredibly versatile weapon, because with shotguns, it's a lot easier to hit enemies because you just have to hit some of your pellets to do damage, rather than needing to hit the exact shot you shoot. So using something like the Hammer AR or the OXR rifle, which is a bloom rifle, it could be a bit harder to land a shot on the enemy because your bullet can go anywhere within your crosshair. With this pistol, as long as your crosshair is on the enemy when you shoot, you're going to get damage unless they're incredibly far away. As I said, it has very, very good range, much more than you would expect. And when you aim in, the pellet spread actually gets quite tight. And this is something that you're definitely going to want to take advantage of when going for those longer range shots. With how much mobility is in the game, it can oftentimes be hard to hit people who are running from you. And this pistol makes it incredibly easy. And even though this pistol is basically a shotgun in every way, since it's classified as a pistol, you don't have the double pump debuff where like there's a 1.5 second delay when you swap from one shotgun to another after shooting. You don't have that with this pistol. So you can essentially double pump with this, where you swap between this and a shotgun back and forth to just dish out incredible damage in close range with no delay. Or you could use two revolvers and do the same thing, but have something that has incredible range. Today, for a lot of my games, I wasn't even using an AR. I was just using double Wrecker revolvers, and it is surprising how good that is, especially if you play aggressive. There also is the exotic shotguns that can be double pumped that you need to get from the bunkers, but those shotguns and this pistol allow you to double pump, and the damage output in close range is very good. I know a lot of people struggle to use double pump or to like alternate between these weapons and shoot, and then, you know, re-swap and time that perfectly. One thing you can actually do is just hold down the fire button as you swap. If you just hold down the shoot button and then keep swapping, the weapon will shoot as soon as it's like taken out and ready to shoot. And then you just hit your swap button again and hold the shoot button the entire time. Personally, I don't do this. I like being able to like make sure my aim is on point before I'm about to shoot. But in the past, when double pump was like a mechanic in early Fortnite that everyone used, there were people that found that just holding the shoot button and then tapping the swap buttons when needed made it a lot easier for them. So you may be one of those people that, you know, benefits from that. For forecast this season, you need to go to the shop that is under attack from bugs. They have like a little bug icon on the map, and there's 2 of these per game. And so it can kind of change game to game which shops are under attack by bugs. But as I said, there's an icon for it, and there's only 2 per game. If you go here and clear out the bugs that are attacking the shop, you will get a drop that comes in afterwards, and this will give you the forecast boon, which will show you one zone in advance for the remainder of the game, which allows you to kind of set up and play zone better. So if you guys liked going for the forecast towers in the past, this may be something you want to do, and I believe you even get hero points when the activity is completed. This season has 3 medallions, and as always with medallions in Fortnite, your circle for revealing your location gets smaller the more medallions you have, and how much your circle shrinks based on how many medallions you have has varied season to season in Fortnite. For Chapter 6, it hasn't really changed that much. If you have all the medallions, the circle is still kind of a similar size. But with this season, if you have 2 of the 3 medallions, the circle is incredibly small. And then when you have 3, it would be even smaller than this. But even just with 2, the zone reveal is so precise that like having that 3rd, while the circle might be smaller, I don't think actually hinders you that much more. Like 2 already reveals you so much that it really can't get that worse effectively. But just know if you have 2 medallions, your location is very precisely broadcasted to the whole lobby. The medallions this season are incredibly good, and it's not that I wouldn't recommend taking them, but this is just something that you might want to keep in mind. There's new slurp geysers in the bug area. And these function similar to other geysers, where just periodically it'll go off, and if you're standing there when it goes off, it'll let you, you know, redeploy and fly around. But these slurp geysers also heal you for 30 when you use them. So if you're missing a little bit of shield or health in that area and you want to use the geyser anyways, this is something that could heal you a little bit and grant you some mobility. The flag capture mechanic is back. We had this all throughout Chapter 4 and then Chapter 5 on Island. This flag mechanic is back. If you stand in the flag area, you will raise the flag, and then eventually, when this is completed, you will get 250 hero points and then some loot. But the loot is very mid, and the hero points are fine, I guess. But for the amount of time it takes to do this, I really don't think capturing the flag is really worth it. In Chapter 6, never something that I really bothered to do aside from Island. But with this season especially, and how important getting the medallions can be, because these medallions are really good fighting medallions, I really wouldn't want to waste my time capturing the flag. Something that can give you a good amount of loot, especially for the time investment required, is going to be the supply drones and the gold POIs. So every match there will be some POIs that have a gold name, and if you land at these POIs, they have drones flying around, and when you break the drone, you actually get a lot of loot. This is something that in the past I didn't really care for, or didn't think about landing at a POI specifically for, because the loot was kind of mid. But the amount of loot, you get a lot of heals and then some decent weapons as well. But the amount of heals especially makes landing at one of these gold locations really nice, because you're going to be able to easily get full shield and have extras to carry. I could see this being an even bigger deal in squads where you just need more heals to go around. So if you need loot, consider landing at the gold zones. But even if you didn't want to land there, if you need heals at some point throughout the game and there's a gold zone and zone, that might have more drones remaining that you could break to get shield. But even if there isn't drones remaining, there might just be heals left on the ground because the drones give so much. The OXR ranks are the hero ranks of this season, and they are much harder to get than they were last season. There's no points for surviving storm circles, and so most of your points need to come from eliminations. Clearing out the bugs and the nests and the queen bugs and the bug areas will actually give you a lot of OXR points. So if you are someone who wants to get exotic weapons or wants to get those higher tier loot drops from ranking up your OXR rank, going to the bug areas, I think, is going to be your best bet in terms of getting them. You get eliminations for a lot of the bugs that you eliminate, the larger ones. If you eliminate the nests, you get hero points. And then obviously, like I said, the queens as well will give you a good amount. And the exotic weapons, as I touched on, kind of rely on your OXR rank, because you need to be A rank in order to open the bunkers which have exotic weapons. These will be revealed to you once you reach A rank, and if you are A tier, the bunker icon on the map will have an A on it if it's unopened, but if it doesn't have an A on it, that means somebody has already opened that bunker, and you may still be able to go there and get loot. But this is also an important kind of peace of mind, because if you are going for a bunker and you see the A icon disappear, then you know someone has opened that and there's likely to be somebody inside. So as I said, if you want the exotics, you want to get to A rank quickly and then get to those bunkers, eliminating the bugs is probably going to be your best bet. But also keep in mind that the icon on the map will kind of tell you whether or not that bunker has actually been hit by somebody else. The Swarm Strike rocket launcher is also incredibly good this season. This is something that I didn't really want to use initially because I just don't care for rocket launchers typically, but in fights, this thing is a menace. You could shockwave up, shoot it down. You will get a lot of damage on enemies. If you have the double jump medallion, you just need to double jump and shoot down on it, on enemies. And the amount of damage you get is incredible. I believe the purple one can deal like up to 240 damage, and the gold one can just outright one-hit somebody. But what's even better about this, or where this even comes in a bigger play, is going to be versus cars. Because when you destroy somebody's car, or when you shoot somebody's car with this, you can often get damage on the player inside using the rocket launcher. So you kind of kill two birds with one stone. You get a lot of damage on the person, you heavily damage their car, potentially blow it up, causing them more damage, and that's going to be a very easy kill for you to close. So expect to run into the Swarm Strike rocket launcher a lot. If you're using cars, you kind of need to be more on your toes this season. This thing is very, very effective. It would not surprise me if the rocket launcher gets nerfed at some point, because it is going to be really overpowered in zero build. Just the shockwave rocket launcher plays is something that a lot of people are going to be losing games to. I'm sure of it. In the bug areas, there are hive stashes, which are a chest sealed in some sort of like orange thing, basically. And you have to destroy this to get the chest, and you will actually get pretty good loot and some hero points, I believe, out of these chests. So if you're landing in any of the bug areas, you definitely want to make a priority to get these hive stashes. And then also around the map, you can find OXR chests, and these give pretty high rarity loot and seem to have a pretty good chance of dropping the Shockwave rocket launcher, which is a rocket launcher that uses rocket ammos instead of shockwaves, but it works exactly like how shockwaves work, meaning you can hold much more in your inventory than just shockwaves. Because when you have a stack of shockwaves, that's 6 shockwaves per stack. I believe the shockwave rocket launcher, the purple one, has 3 rockets, and you can have 12 reserves. So I think you can have 15 rockets or 15 shockwaves essentially with a shockwave rocket launcher. And that just is much more efficient per item slot. So going for these OXR chests is really good. It's going to get you one of the better mobility items in the game. And another thing that's nice about the shockwave rocket launcher going off rockets is that most players you eliminate are probably going to have some rockets in their inventory, especially if they aren't using any rocket ammo items, because they probably just got some throughout the course of the game and never used it. And so most eliminations you get will get you to max rockets, or at least give you some. And this makes it to where you can top off on most eliminations in a way that you really can't with the regular shockwave grenades, because it's not just an ammo type that everybody is getting throughout the course of the game. One thing that's also nice about the shockwave rocket launcher is if you eliminate someone, their weapons drop fully loaded for you. And this has been the case for years, but this is decently high value with the rocket weapons like the Swarm Strike rocket launcher or the shockwave launcher, because if you're using that and the enemy is using it, like let's say you're using a purple shockwave launcher and you use all 3, use your entire mag to chase them and eliminate them, but they drop a purple one on their body, you could just swap yours for theirs. It'll be fully loaded, and this saves you the time of reloading and saves you using your rockets on reloading. And this will be really nice when you get if you're getting third-partied or anything, because that little bit of time you save by not having to reload can definitely save your life. And with the Swarm Strike rocket launcher, since it takes a decent amount of time to reload, being able to just grab one off someone's body and use it right away can be something that can definitely turn the tide of a fight, especially if you are getting third-partied. As of right now, shockwave grenades and the shockwave launcher are the main mobility items, so learning how to use shockwaves properly is going to be huge for you. I've made videos about this in the past. I'll try to link one down in the description below. I probably will make an updated one in a few days, but they basically just send everything away from it when it blows up. So the easiest way to just go forward when using them is to look down. As you're walking forward, you walk forward the entire time you do this, but you're looking down, you throw it at your feet, and then since you're walking forward the entire time, it'll be behind you when it blows up, and it will send you forward. And then the same is true of the shockwave launcher as well. Just look at your feet, shoot it at the ground as you're walking forward, and you'll typically go forward. And you can make this effect even more extreme by jumping before it goes off, or by sprint jumping before it goes off. But shockwaves are one of those things where they aren't that intuitive, but it's one of those things that, like, once you get it, you got it. And the easiest way to practice with them is just going to be able to be going into any sort of creative map, and you can use them at your leisure and really kind of play around and get used to it without being under pressure in the same way that you would in an actual match. But that is going to be it for this video. As always, if you guys did find this to be helpful, informative, or interesting, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you'd like some more, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.